Lori, healthcare is leading the way when it comes to sectors. We've had a lot of things to digest today in this market, as we've talked about, from earnings to other macro headwinds. What are you watching today, and what do you make of the upward trend from today? Sustainable?
So I think it's important to remember that reporting season, it's always very lumpy by sector. So we've gotten some healthcare today, some financials. I mean, those were two pretty cheap sectors coming into this reporting season. And healthcare in particular, we'd seen that earnings revision trends had been really resilient. So, we think there was room for good news to pull some of these stocks up. So it's nice to see the reaction.
To that extent, Laurie, was earnings themselves actually that good?
So, the phrase I keep hearing two things is, one, investors are ready to tune out the noise and get back to fundamentals, as you guys discussed earlier on the show. So I think, just being able to focus on earnings and some decent fundamentals is something investors are just frankly really excited about right now. But I also think what I'm hearing a lot of is better than feared. So things don't necessarily have to be perfect. I think expectations were pretty low coming into this reporting season. So just seeing that there are no new nasty surprises, I think, is a win at this point.
Do you think that we're underestimating the impact that the better hope for a Brexit deal is having on this market today? Should we be talking about it more than perhaps we are?
I'll be honest. I've been talking to clients. So, I was out seeing clients all day today. It's just not coming up a lot in conversation. Even the political rhetoric, which was pretty, domestic political rhetoric that was pretty in focus last week, that seems to have died down. And again, I think investors are just happy they can focus on the fundamentals.
Steve, on the China trade deal of last week, you actually think it's a positive that the deal's being broken into a number of phases?
Yeah, so this is the first time that I've heard of three phases. Right. So last week when we were talking about the phases, right before that, the president said he was not interested in any type of a small deal or a mini deal. And then it went to three phases of a deal. So that to me is a 180 from him, but positive for the overall market. What has kept the short sellers on their heels? The possibility of a deal getting done. Now you have to wait for three phases of a deal to get done before you can lay into the market.
You mean that overall you felt China trade deal stuff was going to be a buy rumor, sell the facts, and now the facts have been delayed?
Exactly. Ultimately, when you get a deal that is completed, three phases, one phase, whatever it is, it's going to be a sell the news event because there's nothing to stay on top of the market to actually just. If you look at it, China's going to be have less growth by doing the deal, correct?
Right.
So if China's the growth engine of the world, by its even the principles of a trade deal, they're giving up something. So if that's giving up something and we're done or that unknown is done, then I would say that you probably have a good sell the fact event on your hands when a deal gets done, but not until that deal gets done.
Laurie, just quickly, clearly healthcare and financials had nice setups coming into earnings season based on today. Which other sector stands out for you for the rest of the earnings season?
So I would say the one we're really watching is industrials. And one thing we noticed about the pre-announcements coming into this reporting season is they were still a little bit elevated in industrials versus history, but they weren't as bad as they were last quarter. So we felt like at the margin, the news, the setup might be getting a little bit better. And it's another one of these sectors. I mean, our PE model is showing it's back down to financial crisis lows relative to the S&P. We upgraded it in September on the basis of the fact we thought all the bad stuff was priced in and there was a lot of room for upside if we got some decent news.